I'm going to show you this makeup look today. Really simple and easy. I blended the eyes with my fingers. It's just something quick and put together to go for dinner with the girls, so I hope you enjoy. Right, we're off to a great start. I had started moisturising and talking you through all of that, but the door went, the cats were at me, you know the drill. So let me just quickly go back. I was just telling you about my Cerave before all hell broke loose. I used the Cerave facial moisturising lotion to moisturise my skin today. And basically what I love about this is it's really rich and buttery, so your makeup glides on really nicely over it. But one of the things I pointed out is this comes in an AM and a PM version. I always get the PM because it has no SPF in it. So you can use it twice a day, and also you can then use that with whatever SPF you like to use. I haven't used any SPF today because I'm not going out in the day and I'm popping out for dinner this evening, but I'll be going into a restaurant and it will be dark, so there's not really any point. So something I'm going to use today for the first time is I want to try some of these shapes of these new Morphe brushes, and it's really interesting. They have been made with a silver ion technology. I've just been reading all about them, and what it's designed to do is essentially prevent bacteria from building up. Now, they're really clear on the website. This doesn't mean you don't have to wash your brushes or anything like that. It's just a helping hand. It's a way of helping to keep things as sanitary as possible. So I'm going to start with my original CC cream. And there we go. We've got a cat hair again. Isn't that great? I'm going to use this with the foundation brush. There's me looking for some obscure name. Another thing I'm going to make an effort to do actually is I feel like I always use the original CC cream, and I was thinking the other day I must make an effort to show you the other finishes because they're all lovely. It's just that I absolutely love the original one, like, you know, when you have your firm fave. But the other two are really great for, I always wear them for kind of different reasons. So Nude Glow has this lovely, it's almost like a jelly finish. It looks and feels like a gel. It's really, really fresh. I love the way Nude Glow wears. It just gives you this lovely, healthy glow, but there's no kind of glitter or shimmer in it. That's really nice when you want like a fresher base and if you want less coverage. But I personally do use a bit of concealer here and there with that one because you know me, I do like having the coverage. And then CC, oh my God, I've gone blank. CC Natural Matte. We changed the name of that a little while ago. So I'm always in my head thinking CC oil free. CC Natural Matte is, as the name would suggest, completely velvety matte. It's also really good if you have oily skin. It's really long wearing, but also what I love about that one is you put it on and you don't have to think about it for the day. Like once it's on, it kind of dries and sets down. And with the original or the Nude Glow, I always like to pack a bit of powder to touch up kind of in those laughter lines. Whereas the Natural Matte, if let's say, for example, if we had a day on counter where we were seeing customers all day, that's the one I'd be wearing because there's nothing more embarrassing. I remember years ago, I will name no names, on the Selfridges shop floor, there was a new mascara that had launched that day and someone said, try the new mascara, give this a go. And I was like, oh, brilliant. Okay. It was a really popular mascara that since got discontinued. So like everyone must have known this was a problem. Anyway, try the new mascara, try the new mascara. This was all over my face. I am not joking. And I was talking to this lady, lovely lady. It was a quiet morning and I was beauty personal shopper. So if it was ever quiet, I'd be like asking anyone if they need help as usual. And then you'd just say, you know, just to let you know, if you ever need any, like a one-to-one or you want your makeup doing, you can always book in with me. Here's a bit of info about me and what I do. I'm unbiased across all the brands. And she wasn't even, I can't explain, she wasn't rude, this lady, but she said to me with the greatest of respect, like, your mascara is everywhere. And I hadn't seen it because when you're busy doing everything else, you're not looking at your own face. have never forgotten that moment, like absolutely shot myself in the foot. So all of that to say, I will be wearing my CC Natural Matte whenever we have an event day, because I know nothing will be wrong with my makeup if I'm wearing that. Can you imagine? There's you swanning up to someone, making out like you know all the best products on the floor, and you've got mascara all over your face. And it's funny, I put all my products together this morning that I wanted to use for this video, that I haven't even told you what I'm using, by the way. I've got the Rarey Beauty Happy Sol Cream Bronzer. When I was putting my makeup together, because I want to make an effort to try some new things and have a little play, because I'm going for dinner, I was like, I'm not messing about with my mascara. I'm picking a mascara that I know isn't going to smudge and I know will look nice. Everything else you can kind of experiment with and see what happens. You can't be messing about with your mascara. Speaking of this bronzing stick, now, to be honest with you, I'm often between my house and my parents' house, and I have makeup in both. And I found a bag the other day of Rarey Beauty things that at the time, like, I genuinely think Rarey Beauty is one of the best brands that has launched in years. I really think they've done a beautiful job of everything. I was so excited about Rare that I put everything in a bag to keep it safe, and the bag was over here. So I think I'll be playing with a lot of those more, because all my safekeeping I've discovered, and I'm like, I was probably so busy keeping that safe, I've probably filmed with hardly any of it. Right, bronzer is on, face is on. I'm trying to remember what I was going to do today. I know what I was going to do today. I'm going to do my base first and then come on to my eyes. And let's none of us address my hair. I just let it dry naturally and flung it in a pony, but I actually think if I've got time, I'm going to film what I do with my hair, because it is naturally like beachy, but I just give it a little tweak with one of those crimpers to smooth it out in parts. So I'll do that again in a minute. Anyway, I'm going to use now some of Daniel Sandler's Watercolour Liquid Blushers. He has just celebrated his 20th anniversary of the Watercolour Liquid Blush. It's the most beautiful formula, really unique. I'm going to give it a little shake to activate it. But I'm just so happy for Daniel, because when I was first an intern, so this was 2012, he came into Feel Unique, where I was interning at the time, with Newbie Hands and Victoria Charmers. I still love all of them to this day. But he came in and he was so kind to me. Now I'm torn. I know I want to try those Morphe brushes, but I'm actually going to use Daniel's watercolour brush that goes with this so that you can see it. Now this is really soft and sheer, so I'm going to build it in little layers. But the nice thing about it is it gives you this really soft, natural flush. Let me build a bit of this. But you really remember who was nice to you as an intern, because you are the quietest part of the office. You're only there for a few weeks. You're there to do lots of kind of admin and things like that. You can't give any of those people anything. And so it really, really sticks in your head who was lovely to you. And Daniel was absolutely fab. And that was how many years ago? I saw him just recently. I had a lovely, lovely lunch to celebrate, a breakfast even, to celebrate that I've been with It Cosmetics for 7 years now, which is so lovely. And it's flown, but also it feels like a really lovely stretch of time that I have loads of different memories from. It feels like a number of lifetimes as well, do you know? But yeah, I'm delighted that he's celebrating 20 years of this. And genuinely, I think it is such an accolade to be able to say that in a 20-year period, no one else has created a formula that is similar to this, in my opinion. I really think it is very unique. I think I've taken that blusher a tiny bit too low. I'm just going to buff the edges of it here. But see how it's so sheer. And I think that something I discuss with people a lot. There are people that are often a bit frightened to use blusher if they have redness. And I think it's about taking the control back. Like, I have removed the redness in areas I don't want it. So of course I want to add a little flush of colour back into the areas where maybe I do want it. I'm just gonna take the excess off the back of my hand there. And then while I'm here, back to my Rarey Beauty stash that I unearthed, I'm gonna use Liquid Luminizer in Mesmerize. Now this is a rose gold, and I'm going to put this on the back of my hand and pick it up with a little fluffy brush. This is one of the Morphes. It says concealer corrector, but it's a nice little stippling brush, and I think it'll be really the perfect size for tracing some of these high points. Something I learned years and years ago. Do you remember? And actually, if you happen to be on this page with me and you have been with me since the Selfridges days, you'll remember this well, because I never shut up about it. It was one of my favourite ever launches. Do you remember when Victoria Beckham did her capsule edit with Estee Lauder? This wasn't her own brand. It was her like black embossed gold casing, the most beautiful, beautiful collection. I'll never forget that launch. It was such a lovely, lovely launch that was so exciting to work on. There was a highlighter in that collection, Modern Mercury, which was a rose gold, really thin. It was like layers of liquid powder, really unique formula. But basically, I'm going to do my brows, by the way, and I'm going to use my Brow Power Micro from It Cosmetics. This is like a finer nib version of our Universal Brow Power. Basically, Victoria loved the Estee Lauder highlighter Modern Mercury, and she wanted it as part of her collection, and it had been discontinued for years. And apparently she used to buy it on eBay, and like anywhere she could, she'd be after a Modern Mercury. So it came back as part of the collection. But basically, one of the reasons why she really wanted it and loved it is that it was rose gold. And rose gold is a highlighter colour that looks great on all complexions. So it was going to be a really universal option, in particular because she had such a capsule edit, and she wanted to keep everything as succinct as possible. It was perfect. Oh, I loved that collection so much. But yes, so I'm using the rose gold. I'd say if you're fair like me, when you see it in natural light, it can almost have like a slight bronzing effect. It's difficult to tell here. And also, I'd love your feedback if you wouldn't mind. Basically, if I'm really focusing on one product, I will often film. Well, I'd really got into the habit of filming with the back camera. So my iPhone is twisted round and I'm looking into a mirror. So I'm kind of looking off, I'm not looking directly at you. And it's really good for the clarity of being able to see the products really, really up close. But like for this kind of thing where it's more of a chat than anything, I feel like it'd be so weird if I wasn't looking at you. So I'm filming this in the front camera. Now I've recently updated my phone to try and get the best camera as possible. But let me know, is it clear enough? If you want it to be clearer, I could twist it round again, but then I'll be looking over there. But you know, I'm happy either way. I just want you to feel like you're getting something from listening to me harp on for 13 minutes when I've barely got any steps on. Okay, I'm so excited for these. Full disclosure, I'm doing a partnership soon with Boots and Bobbi Brown, which is so lovely, really lovely brands to be working with. And I filmed it the other day, or I filmed the first draft, because when you do a partnership, sometimes there's tweaks or changes. So who knows, but I filmed my first thing the other day. And I'd used these two sticks for it. The way they blended was just absolutely unreal. So I thought I would show you. So just so you know, I have got these as part of a partnership coming up, but this video is just me getting ready to go for dinner this evening. So this is the shade Nude Beach. This was actually my favourite one to blend. If you're not, the most confident with eyeshadows or blending. I can't recommend these enough. Let me just show you how easy this will be. Now, something I would say is that Nude Beach for me, as you can see, is like a few shades deeper than my complexion. It's nothing too deep, but you can tell there's a shadow there. How quick was that? Like, I would wear that on its own. I'm actually wondering whether I might just wear it on its own. In the other video, I layered a slightly deeper colour. It's Smoky Topaz because it has like a hint of like a plum in it. So it's really good for making your eyes appear a bit brighter. But like, how easy was that to blend? Let me just do the same over here, just with the ring finger. Sorry if you can hear that. My dad is naturally just has a voice that projects so far. I'm gonna do the same under here, and I'm gonna keep talking in the hope that we can gently blur over there. But like, even that, I mean, this colour has the slightest hint of lilac in it as well, even though it's kind of a mushroomy, it just makes the blues look bluer. How quick was that to do? Like, you wouldn't believe it. The question is, do I add a bit of the other one? Do you know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna add a tiny bit. I'm not gonna go all over because I love that colour. This is Smoky Topaz. I am literally just gonna go near the lash line so that when I look forward, there's a bit of depth, because I feel like that always makes your lashes look a bit fuller. And then, what is her name? Holly. There is a Bobbi Brown artist called Holly. I want to say Holly Olivia. She does the best videos. Whenever one of her videos comes up, I always think I've genuinely learned something from you there. They're all really easy, simple. Do them with your hands. Definitely have a look at her. Now, I don't know if it's the way I'm looking, but I feel like I can see that side more. So let me just rectify that a bit. I'm really going to miss those nails. Tia did those nails for me. My little Valentine's nails, and I have absolutely loved them. Love that lovely little night out makeup for me that took 2 seconds. Now then, as I was saying, I'm not messing about with my mascara tonight because I'm going for dinner with 2 of my friends and I don't want to be touching my makeup up all night. I'm going to use a Laura Mercier lash curler. If I remember the other day, I'd said to you, I was on about Superhero Mascara from It and saying that it's really good and volumizing and all of this. And I said, you'll see it more if I curl my lashes. So I'm just going to do that now. It does make a huge difference, to be fair, curling your lashes. One of my friends used to always do it, and I used to say, how can you be bothered doing that? Like, it just felt like a real something I couldn't be bothered with. But it makes a huge, huge difference. So another thing that makes a big difference, the size of your mascara brush is going to have a direct impact on how big your lashes are. So for example, if you use a tiny little wand, something like Tight Line mascara from It, that is going to be really good for catching tiny little lashes, for separation, even if you wanted to use it like a primer. Whereas if you want volume, lift, length, all of that, you want to be going for a nice big brush. And I'm just going to put some of this on, but if I spill any on the upper lashes or on the eyelid even, I'm just going to leave it there, wait for it to dry, and then flick it off with a brush once it has dried. It's much easier to do that. It'll come off more easily. So there we go. And I just find that having a tiny bit of something deeper around that lash line, like where we had that Smoky Topaz, it makes a bit of a difference to make everything appear deeper. But that kind of makeup now is not only really easy and quick, but it's going to be really low maintenance as the night goes on. There's nothing that's super movable or likely to run or gather. Because the other thing I was thinking I might do a little video on at some point is what I pack if I'm going out for the day. Because a huge part of having your makeup look nice for the evening is just packing a couple of things with you. In fact, I've got all my bits here, so I'll do that at the end. I'll finish my makeup and then I'll show you, of these steps, this is what I'll actually pack to take with me to go out with. Now then, I was just going to show you this actually with the Daniel Sandler blusher to celebrate the 20 years. He sent us these little cookies and I thought if I show you that now and we celebrate it, I can have that with my cup of coffee. I'll split that with my mum. That was from Honeywell Bakes. What a lovely treat. What colour lippy am I going to do is the question. Kind of feel like I might do a matte lip. I'm going to use the Peaches Rosebud lip liner all over. Okay, now my lips are a bit dry. What's new? And I'm using a matte lipstick, but it's relatively creamy and I'll probably put some lip balm on it later anyway, but I do quite like sometimes that really polished look. Then I'm using the Valentino matte lipstick in the shade 108A. The reason I bought this at the time, I bought it a while ago, is because Florence Pugh wore it. Do you remember when there was all that drama about Don't Worry Darling and like it was all kicking off, we didn't know what was going on, and she swanned up to that film festival in the purple ensemble with the Aperol spritz. Absolutely fantastic. This is what she was wearing and I thought, well, I want that then, because that was just such a moment in time. If you went through my makeup bag, probably a million ridiculous stories like that as to why I've bought things. But there we go. Nice little pinky peachy. You might have oh no. Right, I was going to say, you might have noticed I'm not really using any powder. The reason I'm not using any powder is I've been trying this new thing where I don't powder straight away. I wait until I need it and then I'll powder, because right now, like, I'm glowy, but I feel like there's nothing that needs powdering. However, I'm going to completely contradict myself, because while I was away, and I know this is really annoying because we don't have it in the UK, but if you're in the US, you might enjoy this. And if you live at cosmetics, you might enjoy this. They have slightly different things to us in America at cosmetics than we have here. So I was like, oh my God, desperate to go to a counter, get anything that we don't have just so I can be having a play. And they have this Your Skin But Better Airbrush finishing powder, which is basically like a tinted version of Bye Bye Pores with a bit more coverage, if I'm to wildly paraphrase. So I just want to try a bit of this, because I feel like it's going to give a slightly more polished finish. And I mean, I feel like you can actually see on that side, the powders are really good for making everything a bit more full. And I tell you, I'll be really honest with you, this, now that I've tried to pull the face, it's not doing it. There we go. That line is starting to get on my nerves. I've always thought that personally, I don't think anything injectable is for me. And this is the first thing that's made me think that's starting to bother me now. However, and like, no judgment, if you get any injectables or anything, good for you. I think we should all be doing what we want to make us feel good with our faces. So you do what you want and I'll do what I want. I kind of love the idea. I'm 35 now. I love the idea of, because I've made videos for such a long time, like having this document of tips and things I've had to tweak and change as my face changes. So I love the idea of leaving it as it is. Now, one thing I'm really experimenting with that is I noticed that through the day, because I have a face that just makes lots of expressions, things are gathering in there. So I'm experimenting between using less product in that area so that there's less to gather, using more velvety things in that area so that there's less moisture there, which is what I'm doing here. But in general, I'm having to like powder that and smooth it out. So we'll see how that goes. But I feel like that powder gave it a lovely, just like a little smooth over, didn't it? So yeah, we love that. That is about it from me. I hope you have a lovely day, and let me know if there's anything in particular you'd like to see in any upcoming videos. I am looking at this a bit mindful that it's probably similar colours to the last few things I've done, so I'll make an effort to mix up the colours a bit. But have a lovely day. Thanks for watching, and I'll chat to you soon.